Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are going old school, and this is going to be a little video of what is in my bag plus my everyday carry. So the bag in question that I take with me absolutely everywhere is the Peak Design Everyday Backpack 30 liters. I've tried zillions of backpacks on the market. I have a weakness for backpacks, and this is the one I always come back to. It's quite heavy because it's got a lot of stuff in it, and it's got even more space for stuff in it, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So thing number one is that we have the laptop compartment, where we have the trusty 16-inch MacBook Pro with the Dbrand skin, the Palettes Abdaal color scheme on the Dbrand skin. This is like an M3 MacBook Pro, something like that. And I also carry around in the second compartment my 11-inch iPad Pro, which is kind of nice. I use the iPad Pro mostly if I'm like on a train or in a coffee shop or something and I don't want to bust out the big ass laptop if I have some work to do. It's also quite nice as a secondary display where I can connect my laptop to my iPad. And it's also quite nice for like drawing diagrams and stuff. If I'm, for example, doing a workshop for one of our courses and I need to draw some diagrams, I can hook up the iPad to the laptop and then I can sort of beam that over Zoom. And speaking of the iPad, one of my absolute favorite accessories for it is the Paperlike screen protector. Now, if you haven't heard of this before, Paperlike is an amazing screen protector that gives your iPad this lovely, like, papery type feeling, which means that when you're writing with the Apple Pencil or you're drawing, it feels a lot more like paper than like a glossy screen. And all of this is thanks to their nanodots technology. Now, I've been using the Paperlike screen protector on my iPad since 2018. In fact, it was one of the first iPad accessories I ever got that I made videos about on this channel way back in 2018. And they have just released Paperlike 3, which I've just installed onto my iPad, and this is really, really, really good. Like, oh, I love it. Now, what's great about this is that it doesn't blur or dull the screen in the same way that some textured protectors do. So you get the natural resistance and kind of sensory feedback that your hand expects, like when you're writing on paper, but your display still looks crisp and clear. And with the new Butterfly application system, installing it is almost foolproof. There's no bubbles, there's no dust, and there's no endless repositioning it. And they've done a really, really good job of making it super, super easy to install. And what I really like about having a Paperlike on my iPad is that you get the benefits of digital note-taking and drawing and sketching and journaling and stuff, but you get the tactile feel of writing on pen and paper, which is super nice. Anyway, big fan of the Paperlike screen protector. I have been for like 7 years now. And Paperlike 3 is the best version I've ever used, the best version they've ever created. So if you are interested in checking it out, then head over to the link in the video description. So thank you, Paperlike, for sponsoring the video, and let's get back to it. In the little secret pocket, I have this little, what is it? Travalo like perfume thing. I think this is Tom Ford ombre leather or something like that right now that's in this. And we also have one of these bad boys. This is just one of these like little Belkin gizmos that goes on top of the MacBook so that you can use your iPhone as a webcam if you need to. I very rarely use this, but it's there. And something I always have in my backpack is a padlock. The padlock is useful because if I ever need to drop my bag off at a locker in like a train station or go to the gym and I've got like stupidly expensive amounts of like tech in the thing, then I can just whack out the padlock, stick it in the locker, and then I'm relatively happy. Next up, we come to the main compartment, and usually my main compartment has a pencil case. This is the Bellroy, one of their tech pouches actually, which I currently use as a pencil case. It's got some ink. We've got a, oh God, it's got a pencil sharpener because I was getting into drawing and sketching and stuff. But the whole thing is like blackened because the lead sharpenings and shavings and stuff from the pencil have just been like going everywhere. We have this Uniball Air. Don't know if this is the thing. Pen. We have a Mont Blanc fountain pen, which was actually a gift from Iman Ghazi, in case you know his stuff. He's a fellow YouTuber and entrepreneur. And we have, what is this? Haven't used this in ages. It's just like a red pen. I don't know why I have a red pen. I never used that, but that is the stuff we have in the pencil case. And then similarly in the top compartment, usually I have 1, 2, or 3 of my Harry Potter Moleskine notebooks. I have an Expecto Patronum one, which is where I take notes on any of our like business products and stuff, like software or courses or things. I have a Lumos one, which is a journal that I use for like just personal life and stuff. And then I have a Protego Maxima one, which is for video ideas. And so usually I don't have all 3 of them with me, but I thought I'd bring them along just to show. Usually if I'm out for the day, I'm kind of deciding, okay, today I'm gonna work from the local WeWork and I'm gonna focus on YouTube videos, or I'm gonna focus on our software or whatever the thing might be. And then I'll generally bring the appropriate journal. And then there's also space in here if I want to bring a physical book, because I do like carrying physical books around. Another little gizmo I have on the top is that I usually bring with me, this is a little camera. It's the Ricoh GR3X, which is very nice because it takes way better photos than an iPhone does. And there's something cute and vibey about just like whacking out on actually an old school like pocket camera, fixed lens, 26.1mm crop lens, so that's basically 40mm full frame equivalent. And I get some sick photos of me, my family, my baby. I mostly use it to take photos of people, so that is always with me. I also, in this little secret compartment, always carry around a pair of wired EarPods. Why do I carry a pair of wired EarPods? Well, the microphone quality on wired EarPods is like remarkably good. It's just absolutely sick. And it's like the best microphone you can get. Like that just is like insanely cheap and like very, very portable. So I always have it in there because sometimes, you know, my AirPods, my Bluetooth headphones will like go out of battery, and it's, you know, if I'm taking a Zoom call or doing a live session of one of my courses, it's always useful to have a backup wired camera. Sorry, wired microphone, not wired camera. Anyway, cool. So then we have the side access compartments. Oh, this is my trusty HappyPo. I carry this around with me everywhere. This is freaking sick. This is a portable bidet, which means when you go to the bathroom to do a number 2, you fill it up with water, and then you go into the bathroom. And then you have a portable bidet that you can use to squirt water up your behind so that you leave the bathroom clean. I hate it when I forget this at home, because if I'm out and about and then I need to do a number 2 and I don't have this, I just feel grim and dirty for the rest of the day because all you have to play with is like some toilet paper. Whereas if you have squirty water, you feel clean and great for the rest of the day, and it's absolutely glorious. So I always make sure we have like one of these in every single bathroom at home. I have a travel one in my suitcase, and I have an extra one just for my backpack. Absolutely swear by this, because otherwise you just feel a bit grim for the rest of the day. Okay, now we come to the side access compartments. And firstly, what I have is a little mini Peak Design tech pouch. This is good because this is where I carry like cables and a spare charger and a spare plug and stuff. The plug is currently on charge, so I'm not going to show you it, but like spare stuff. So I've got like a little charging cable for my MacBook, a little charging cable for the iPad, a little battery pack to stick on the iPhone in case anyone needs it, and a little extra USB-C to USB-C cable in case anyone needs it, and just a nice little storage of like cables and stuff always goes in there. I also always carry with me this thing. This is the DJI Pocket 3 with the DJI microphone on top of it. And this is good if I ever in a jiffy need to do some filming. So it can double as a webcam as well if for whatever reason I'm, I don't know, filming a workshop for one of our courses and I need a sort of nicer webcam than my MacBook one. But really, this is just very ideal as like a mini vlog camera or like a social media filming camera, or even just to capture some memories, because it's got like a gimbal and it's very stable and it's very unobtrusive. If I bust out a big ass camera, then people look weird. But if you bust out this, you just sort of look like a tourist rather than a content creator. So it's just kind of nice. So I keep this around with me in my backpack, and it weighs almost nothing. So it's just always in there. And the other thing I often carry with me is this little gizmo. This is the DJI Mic 2 or Mic 1. I think there's an upgraded version of this out, but I don't really need it. This is basically 2 microphones that you can just like clip on. And then this is a receiver that you can just attach via USB-C to anything you want. This is great because what this means is that with this plus the DJI camera, I can basically create a podcast setup anywhere I am. It's come in handy like once or twice in my life where ad hoc I've wanted to do a podcast type conversation with my brother or with a friend or something, and I've just had this plus this basically is a podcast setup. You just stick the camera on, it's got a little tripod that comes with it, as a wide angle, you get each person wearing the 2 microphones, and now you have amazing audio quality and pretty reasonable video quality in like a setup that looks like this big. If I wanted to, I could even, something that I do here is have my iPhone with me, of course, and on my iPhone, there is almost always this Peak Design travel tripod. Boom. Which means you could do this if you're like wanting to, I don't know, read a book or something, or you could do it like this if you want to film something. So this actually becomes a really solid like filming setup if I want to film something landscape, because I can just do it like this, shove the tripod on, and then if I wanted to, this could become a double angle podcast. For, you know, a tiny ass setup, this is just like amazing to travel with at all times. If you're not a content creator, you probably don't need that kind of thing in your life, but I find it incredibly useful the few occasions that I've needed it. The DJI also comes with this little tripod little attachment, which is kind of nice. And then we come to the little extra compartments here. So your USB-C dongle for the MacBook Pro in case I need to do an extra SD card or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, another pair of wired earbuds. These are USB-C, so if I'm taking a Zoom call on my phone and Then I can plug this in via USB-C if I want good audio quality or if my headphones are out of battery. AirTag, because in case I lose the backpack, there's always an AirTag in here. Little small pair of like Disney nail clippers, because you know, the only time I find out my nails are too long is if I'm typing and I'm like, oh, typing is kind of annoying. And then if I'm out and about and I don't have my nail clippers with me, this is why I basically always keep a set of nail clippers with me. In here, we have another one of these like portable battery packs, because as you know, phones these days run out of battery super quickly. So it's just very useful to have spare batteries on your person. And whenever I'm out with friends or team members and stuff, inevitably someone's phone is going to run out of juice. And so if you can be the guy to supply a battery pack, it's just a very valuable addition to a group dynamic. Over on this side, we don't have very much, but basically, the reason I carry around such a big backpack for such a small amount of stuff is because this compartment, this bottom compartment is then completely empty. And in this bottom compartment fits the Peak Design tech pouch, which I don't currently have with me because I don't have my baby with me. But that little tech pouch is my nappy changing bag for the baby. And you know what? We're actually gonna cut to me showing you what's exactly inside that little nappy pouch. So let's go. All right, so this is the Peak Design tech pouch, and this is the baby's nappy bag. So this pouch fits very nicely into the bag, and we have, it springs out to unveil all of this stuff. So firstly, we have this, which is a sort of changing mat type thing, where you can then sort of put this on any kind of surface, and then you can use it to change the baby, because the baby doesn't like hard surfaces. She screams. In fairness, she screams when she's on this surface as well, so what can you do? We have this Inco pad, which, you know, if there's even more of a mess, you can put this on a surface. It sort of acts as a little bit of a soft surface, but this is also absorbent and absorbs any kind of wee or poo if the baby wants to wee or poo on it. We have some dry wipes, Huggies Hong Kong version dry wipes. We have some wet wipes. These are incredibly helpful when the baby does a little poo-poo. These are sort of Nook baby wipes that go into the pouch. And we have some Vaseline to be able to prevent like nappy rash and stuff like that as needed. And then of course we have the nappies themselves. Usually I have 3 in here. I have forgotten to stock it, so this is just 1 right now. So I actually should just stock this. And we have another spare Inco pad in case the first one kind of goes mental. And so all of this stuff gets squeezed into this Peak Design tech pouch, which is very convenient because then I can basically pack it all in here, and then this little package folds up. You know, back in the day I used to have like chargers and cables and like my Nintendo Switch and stuff in this, so now I carry it around with nappies when I have the baby with me. And this just goes straight into the bag, which is super nice. It can also tie to the outside compartments of the bag if I needed to, but this is the little nappy bag. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Okay, and we are back. So that is basically what's in the backpack, but there are a few other things in the everyday carry. So my pockets always have a little pocket notebook. The one I'm using these days is a very nice one from Smythson, which was a gift to me from my friend Chris Ducker, and this is very nice. But I also sometimes use field notes notebooks because it's just very nice to have a notebook in the pocket. I always have a pen in the pocket as well. I just usually pick up whichever one I've got lying around. This is the Pilot G207, which is reasonable. And I normally have a pair of wireless AirPods or something. I actually lost my AirPods recently, and I actually quite like these PowerBeats wireless thingies because what they do is they've got this gizmo on the back of them that sort of hooks onto the back of your ears. And that means if I'm running, which is something I've been sort of doing increasingly more of, they don't fall out. And they're also allegedly more waterproof than the AirPods are. So if I go to the sauna, then I don't worry so much about, I'm able to listen to stuff in the sauna without worrying so much about like the plastic getting super, super hot or like it sort of breaking and stuff. So a little pair of Beats power buds. And then I have my wallet that has like, you know, sensible things like my Hong Kong ID card and my driver's license and stuff. So nothing much to write home about as regards to the wallet. Usually I have keys. Where the frick are my keys? Where do my keys go? Shit. Did I not bring my keys or did I lose them? Conveniently, the keys have an AirTag attached to them. Where the hell are my keys? It says the keys are with the backpack. Oh no, they're in my pocket. The keys, right here, according to Find My, are in the pocket. Keys to my house and stuff. Oh, a final thing people often ask is, why do you wear two watches? I don't wear 2 watches. One is an Apple Watch, Series 7, Series 6, Series 8. I don't even know, like they're all basically the same at this point. And this is a Whoop. This is the Whoop 5 MG version or something like that. Whoop sponsored a video a few years ago, and since then I've been using it, and then I've actually been paying for it and actually paid for the upgrade to the new device. I use the Whoop because it gives me stats on my sleep and my recovery and that kind of stuff, which is quite nice. And I also quite like, I have this platinum, I think it's platinum, but like this silver colored wedding band. And so I like the color coordination that I can get with like the you know, blue and silver Apple Watch, the blue and silver Whoop, and then the silver wedding band, or the platinum wedding band, which looks kind of silver. And so I quite like this as a little setup. All right, so thank you for watching this video that absolutely no one asked for. And if you would like an equally pointless video, this is a video about my productivity desk setup and office tour that might give you some ideas for some gadgets that you might like to buy for yourself. So thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.